Pretty good. Right. T minus go. Who else? Someone else just landed. I wonder who that was. Right. Let's do it then. Coach Helen for YouFit Studio. I'm going to talk about I'm talking about milk. Do you know why I'm talking about milk? It's because it's one of those things that it just comes up a lot. It's like people say, I'm having tea with milk. Is that okay? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Are you chugging back a pint of the stuff at the same time with the tea? Or, oh no, but I've heard that, you know, I should change milks if I want to lose weight. There's better milks for me out there. Now, while that is actually true to some degree, because let me just have a sip of my tea that has soy milk in, if you should be wondering. I do have soy milk, not cow's milk. You so taste now. I love it, actually. I can't have cow's milk now. I think it's like, no. Soy milk all the way for me. Later on that, I'll talk about it. But like, yeah, I should change milk, right? If I want to lose weight, I should change milk. Because there's less calories and it's better for me, etc, etc, etc. Now, I'm going to go through, trying to get too technical, the same measurement of liquid in different milk forms so you get an idea. I'm not saying one milk is better than the other, although it probably will towards the end, to be fair, based on what you're looking for from a milk, right? Now, I talked about a pint of milk. Now, in one word, how do I think milk gets a problem or a bad rap? And I did do it a little bit on a live a couple of weeks ago when I talked about eyeballing stuff. Is cereal, right? Let's just say it. It's all right, Leo. You can still have it. I'm still sticking to the guns. You can have cereal. It's just that it's everything like milk and cereal, milk and everything else in moderation, right? So it doesn't really matter if you're chugging back a couple of pints of soy milk or a pint of cow's milk or two. Generally speaking, it's about moderation, not actually what you're having. So just bear that in mind, that I'm not saying one is super better than the other if you're not having it in moderation. I'm just saying that it comes with other things. Right now, I'm gonna have a sip of my soy tea and also talk about. I'm gonna start with cow's milk. Now, I've done a visual, the only one visual I've done, by the way, because I don't actually. I'm just not gonna go out and buy this much milk because it'll all go down the drain. Because I won't drink it. Because I won't. So here, it's the only glass I had available. Can we also just say that was a moment? So this, peoples, this is 250 millilitres of liquid that is milk shaped and coloured because it is milk of the soy variety. Hence, that is what I drink, right? So this is 250 millilitres of milk. Now, I feel like I need to do it close to me so it looks comparative size. I don't have any. I have a pen, if that helps. Because it could be like this is some milk. It's like, that looks giant. Or this is some milk and it's all the way back there and it looks like very small. So let's do that for instance. Very big milk, very small. I can't, I've got quite a tiny head as big and big glasses as well. So the size is very relative when I'm holding something. These are kids' glasses. I've got a tiny pea head. So it's quite difficult to get size. So I'll use a pen to help you out there. So this is 250 millilitres of liquid. Got milk? Yes. Thanks. I got milk. I got the milk. If you join me early, you can see me imaginary milking for the milk. See, lockdown madness already started, part 2. So there's the 250 millilitres of milk, right? Now, I don't know, I feel like I've got to hold it for the whole thing. I don't. Just wanted to get an idea of size. When I talk about 240 millilitres, that could mean nothing, right? So this is probably, if I was to put it in a bowl, probably is about the average amount of milk people put into cereal, to be fair. So that's 250 millilitres. So cow's milk, right? Whole milk. Let's start with Blue Top, right? Because everybody goes, Blue Top is the worst milk. It is the devil's milk because it is high in calories, bad for you. Okay, so 149 calories in, if this was a Blue Top cow's milk, it'd be 149. Now, I'm going to do the immediate comparison to the Green Top because it was like this. What about green in their head already? I heard you. I heard your brains, right? So, it's getting to that point. So this, if it was blue, would be 149. At green? It would be also high-pitched and 117 calories, right? So 117 calories to 149. So We're not talking a hell of a lot of difference, people. So it was like this: green is better. Green is the way. I did not touch red. Out of principle, can I just say, I didn't do red because it's just water with a bit of white. I think it's my personal belief system coming out on that one. I didn't do red. I just went for the blue and green. Okay, people. Before anyone else says red, I'm ignoring your head about red. So 149 if this was blue, green. Colours blue, full fat, and 117. Right, if you're going for green. So let's be real. We know what my maths is like, but that's not a hell of a lot of difference, right? Not really. 30 calories difference, big whoop. Not major, and yet actually, again, blue top is the devil, apparently, in terms of milk. Same amount of protein, so 8 grams of protein in this, regardless if it's green or blue. Same amount of protein. Carbs are the same. The difference would be the calories, but there is, if this was a full fat, I'm not counting gold either, blue milk, this would be 8 grams of fat, and in green is 4 grams of fat. So really you're talking about 4 grams of fat difference and 30 calories difference, give or take, depending on your measurement device, like mine. So it's interesting, right? Because it is kind of touted as the best milk there is green, or red, you know, if you're really, really gun-ho on drinking liquidy milk. Not that milk isn't liquid, but, you know, like the watery variety. This is where it comes to, right? So actually, that's the first interesting point. So I went with cows because what I'm doing is I'm going down the range. You see, I'm making small adjustments on the range, right? And I'll do a summary and all the rest of it as norms. Now, another one that comes up, I have to put this down so I can have a sip of my actual tea. I'm sorry. My hand's getting cold as well. Hello, Anita. I'm talking milk, Anita. Just did blue and green, how there's much difference in them. Banging cup of tea. Now, I'm going next to the oat milk. So let's pretend I just put some more milk in. This is oat milk now. No, it's the same amount. Amazingly looks the same in a glass. Crazy that. However, oat milk. Oat milk is an interesting one because oat milk is, again, is very much the, oh, I have oat milk, Helen, because I hear it's healthier. It's not cow's milk. I've had some oat milk. Oat milk. Oat is the way. Same thing. Cow's milk, blue, devil. Oat milk, good. Kind of like a trendy thing. Like oat milk's very like, I don't know, hipster kind of vibe. You know, oat milk's like, I'll have an oat milk with that. That wasn't, I don't even know what that was. That's been pretending to be trendy, apparently. Like, Niva's laughing at the red. Yeah, red top. Just get it in the tap and put some white, like, flour in it and call that milk, because that is what I believe it is. Oat milk, though. Let's get back to oat milk. Okay, so I'm still going to use blue milk as the you know, the cow's milk of all Satan. So oat milk, interestingly, right, for the same amount, so the same measurement, 120 calories. So again, to refresh your memories, 149 for blue top, 120 for oat milk. Again, not a huge amount of difference. There is, however, a difference in amount of protein, if you were so bothered, right? If you recall, both cow's milks had 8 grams, oat milk would have 3. Carbs higher, 16 grams. And fibre, oh, interesting, you do get 2 grams of fibre from the oat milk, which you don't get actually with the cow's milk. So, much of muchness, really. Like, it's not, again, 20 calories difference for that. Marginally, I suppose. If this is what you're having every day, I suppose, like, it adds up, right? I do say it does add up. So much of muchness. So now my favourite. Let me just have a sip of my soy milk tea while I'm having it, because this is my favourite. Soy milk. Now I've got, this is unsweetened, by the way. I have to say like that, soy milk, because I'm not trendy enough for oat milk. I'm just not there. I'm not hipster enough for soy milk. So I am a soy girl. So same amount again, same amount. So we went with 240ml, right? So and this is literally is what it does have no smell either. So 105 calories in this. So a little bit of difference now. We're trying to add up on the calories difference. So cow's milk again, 149, soy 105. Starting to get there, right? We're starting to see some difference between the two. 6 grams in protein, so closer than oat milk, as into 6 to 8 grams. carbs are the same, so 12 grams, and actually half of the fat as well of cow's milk, so 4 grams, right? Same as having the green top, but with less calories. And I'll get onto why it's my personal favourite, just because I want to. And it's, although this is a good point on this as well, there is some people who say, but soy milk, estrogens are bad in soy milk. I don't know why I have to say it in such a gruff voice. Apparently they do though. There is an argument for that. There's also an argument to say that it can reduce blood pressure and cholesterol, and that soybeans are great for protein intake. And actually, if you're putting against comparatively in terms of protein and carbs, actually it's the closest, and fats, it's the closest to the cow's milk. Actually, in terms of all those, it's the closest to it. And actually, I'm just going to say that's probably why I like it the most, because taste-wise, I can tolerate it. Because it's the closest to, actually, taste and flavour-wise. So let's move on down, right? So we're going down the line in milks, apparently from the worst one there possibly is to a better choice, apparently, right? So coconut milk, and I don't mean from the tin. There's been some confusion about this, clients, before. I don't mean coconut milk from a tin. I mean the coconut milk you can get from a carton. I think there's one called, I actually shouldn't say brands, but there are some cocoa collaborative ones where it is. It's pretty nice. I've gone for them at some time. So now this gets interesting, right? Because the calories on this drop all the way down, like to 46 calories. There's no protein, no. And carbs, there's only like 1 gram. So it's fats though, 4 grams as well. So it's kind of like very low on the calories, very little on protein. It doesn't taste like coconut, by the way. You put it in tea, probably doesn't taste that nice though, to be fair. So coconut's in there as a lower calorie option, because it is lower calorie. I'm not saying it's any better or worse, because you could say it doesn't have protein. So is it any healthier or not? Mama? Who knows? That was my beaker impression. Don't know. Right? Depends on the individual what you're looking for. And then we go down the line again, moving on from that to almond, unsweetened almond milk, right? Low carb and low calorie, right? So we're saying that for the same amount, so again, the same amount of liquid in a glass that's made of almond milk. Calories, get this one, 41 calories, right, for this, in comparison to the cow's milk at 149. We're then dropping all the way down to 41 for the same amount of liquid. Again, no, lower in protein, only 1 gram of protein. Carbs at 2 grams, so also low, and fat also at 3 grams. So it's a very different, very, very different taste to cow's milk, and incredibly different calories to cow's milk as well for that reason. So majority of people, when I always suggest changing, when they say, what milk should I have? And I say, well, you know, I'll have this conversation and go, right, well, let's go through it. They're always like, almond, ew, I hate the taste of almond. Yeah, because it's probably the furthest away from cow's milk in terms of flavour and in terms of content and calories, right? So most people are less likely to do that. And a personal favourite again for me, soy, because it's the closest in composition and taste to cow's milk. So I do have that with less calories, right, in my tea. I don't have cereal or anything else, and I will not be drinking this. I'll also be going back in the carton. The dogs drink this, actually, funnily enough, on their food. So the dogs have soy milk as well. It's a totally vegan household. Enough about that anyway. But so when people say what's the best milk to have, I think it's, again, do I think the cow's milk in comparison, if you go down the line, is any better or any worse to oat milk? Probably not, unless you've got a lactose or dairy intolerance and you're having some struggle with cow's milk, then cool, just come off it and go to oats milk, because it's close enough to in terms of calories, and actually flavour wise is not so bad. Soy milk, if you have no problems with anything else and you're okay with that and you have no issues with if some people have strong beliefs about the estrogen thing, some don't, so absolutely in small amounts, why not? Thank you very much, cheers. And if you really want to, if you're on a real like, I need to really change a lot of things out and I want to get less calories in all of my foods, including milk, then yeah, it is the unsweetened almond, guys. I mean, again though, it's all to do with flavour, taste, and what you use it for and how often you have it. Really, that dictates if it's a better milk or not. Otherwise, if you have any argument between blue or green, it's not that much of an argument, is it really? Let me just sit my team and think about that. No, it is not. So if it's not much of a difference between the two, I wouldn't say that cow's milk is equally the worst thing. It just goes back to my initial point, which is everything in moderation. So if you're necking cow's milk, then there's your challenge over anything else. That's me done on milk. So essentially the answer is there is no answer. It's all about you and what your preferences are and what you use it for. That's what dictates whether or not it's a better milk, or if you should change milk to lose weight. It's really more to do about moderation and flavour than what's more or less successful. End of. Now, if you are around tomorrow at 5, I will be around too. So I'll be doing my next live. Please join me. Off the top of my head, I can't remember what it is, but it will be a good one, obviously. And there won't be any props tomorrow, I believe. But in the meantime, have a great day and a fantastic evening, and I'll catch you tomorrow.